Oh, hello, boys and girls. It's me again, Opus XPN here, and bringing you a little video on my kitchen knives that I've been using lately. I just got this case because I had them laying around in a little container. So I got this Victorinox knife roll, excellent knife roll 10 for 10 knives. But this is the rigid one. We have some softer ones, and this is the rigid one. So I bought the rigid one. Pretty good price for it. It has a carry and even has to put in a strap to carry over your shoulder. This is used by chefs, mostly to travel, from workplace to workplace or to work. They have their tools here. I'm using it. I don't travel with them. I just use them as a keeper here at home to protect them. So, my knives are very important to me. So this is the knife roll. And it has a little bag here with zipper, and it has the main area and a smaller area. So here in the zipper, I got paring knives. I got two Victorinox paring knives. Every knife that I have has a blade saver, a blade edge protector on it. I don't want to cut myself, and I'm also protecting the edge at the same time. I got the regular one, the regular paring knife, and I got the serrated one, and I got the little curved first peak one. So these three are my paring knives. Also my old Hickory small paring knife. So these are three paring knives that you will have to use if you're in the kitchen. They come in very handy for smaller tasks. Now this part opens up, and I got two knives here. This is a Wusthof. Yes, a Wusthof santoku. This I bought it for mostly vegetables and stuff like that when I was dicing and cutting. And let me tell you, for this brand, I'm pretty disappointed. But that was gonna cut better. It didn't. It is sharp, but it didn't slide through like other knives I have. So, was fairly surprised. I mean, it's a $30 knife. It's the lower end line of Wusthof. They have the forged ones, the classic ones, the more expensive ones. This is just stamped metal with a polymer handle. It is a full tang. It is made in Germany, but still, I was not satisfied with this one as I was satisfied with the other ones. So this is the Wusthof santoku. You need a paring knife. You need a chef's knife, you need a boning knife, and you need a serrated knife. That's what I've learned. And this one is a curved boning knife, semi-flex. This is not super flexible. I mean, it does flex, but it's not super flexible. It has some stiffness to it, and I prefer it like that because I also have a fillet knife. So this one is good to cut around the bone, chicken, beef, whatever you need to cut. I experimented with the chicken, and it works pretty well. So I basically debone the whole chicken, and got just the meat and the no bones on it, and it worked pretty good. But you need to be careful because you get too comfortable with it, and when you start, cutting with it, your fingers sometimes are on the way. So the first lesson that I learned in cutting: keep your fingers away from the blade as many times as possible. You need to hold into a piece of beef or something, be very careful, or wear those cut-proof gloves. So this is the Victorinox semi-flex curved boning knife. Excellent knife. Now it goes to the main area, and let me start with the butcher knife. You've already seen this one probably. This is my 7-inch old Hickory butcher knife. Why do I like the butcher knife? Why do I keep this old looking knife around? It's a good beater knife. I mean, if you don't want to hack into something with your better knives, use the old Hickory one. It'll take a beating. Carbon steel, easy to sharpen. It's sharp, and it has some good weight to it. So that's a good knife to have as a beater knife in your knife roll. Another knife And this one, I love the knife. Cooked all weekend with this one, and I really, really like this knife. This is my Mac 7 1/4 entry level, full tang, pack wood handle, chef's knife, or chef's utility knife, or mini chef's knife. Excellent knife. I mean, this is like a samurai sword. It just slices through anything you throw at it. Excellent, excellent knife. I really, really like this knife, and I really like Mac. I guess this is my favorite brand so far. Don't have a lot of experience with other brands. I know there's Sean's and there's Heckles and some other stuff, but I bought the Wusthof and the Heckles. I think it's more or less the same thing, so I don't think I'm gonna be going to them. Mac, I am going to go to them. I like Mac. I'm gonna try a Sean sometime soon. See how it works. But this one is an excellent, excellent chef's knife. I wish they had. I mean, I would have ordered the 8-inch or the 9-inch, but I ordered the 7 1/4 because I already had a 8-inch chef's knife. So the whole purpose of ordering this one was to do smaller, smaller tasks. We didn't want to have the big wide blade, But this is an excellent. This is my favorite knife so far. Then we go to another knife, and this one is a Victorinox. The majority of my knives are Victorinox because they're inexpensive. They're entry level, stamped metal. They're not forged, so they're cheaper. But the steel they use is very good steel. I really like the steel. It is not super hard steel, but it's very easy to get it sharp again. Just a few passes, and razor sharp right away. This is a breaking knife used by butchers a lot. Breaking knives are, they're used for breaking up carcasses. You break your carcasses into their muscle groups and stuff like that. So you get a leg and you start, basically breaking down the leg into pieces. They're very good for working with briskets and larger pieces of meat. In case you like to do your own butchering, excellent knife. You need your butcher knife and you need a breaking knife, or this one will do. Excellent knife, very lightweight, very grippy. The fireworks handles on these things, I like them, and very, very sharp. So breaking knife, I got it more for briskets more than anything, because I'm not gonna get a freaking carcass in the house and start breaking it apart. Will be nice, but I'm not. Next ones are gonna be my Spiracles. Spiracles utility knives. What are Spiracles utility? Utility knives are for anything in the kitchen. I mean, you can use them for anything. They're popular anymore because the blade is very, 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 very thin, very small. It's easy to cut yourself with these, so you gotta be careful when you're using utility knives. Slowly they've been disappearing, some other have taken over, but I still like utility knives and I still use these. So this one is the plain edge and this one is the same model, but this one is on serrated. You got a serrated. You need to have a serrated knife in your arsenal, right? So this is my serrated knife. They have the big bread knife serrated. I'm not gonna cut bread like that. If I need to cut bread, I'll go to this one. So Spiracle utility knives. What can I say about Spiracle? Sharp knives, very sharp knives. Another one. This is my chef's knife, my supposedly main chef's knife that the Mac took over. The Mac one is my main chef's knife now. But it's still a very good knife. This is a 8-inch Victorinox chef's knife with a red Firefox handle. They have in black, blue, red, and I think yellow, and white. But I wanted the red one, so I got the red one. The handling on this knife is excellent. I mean, this is a very nice knife. It's a workhorse of a knife. Why? Because you don't have to keep it pretty. I mean, you can just hack away and chop whatever you need to chop and cut and whatever. It's very lightweight. The handle is very comfortable. Of course, you know this is how you handle your chef's knife. You pinch it, 3 fingers on the handle, better control on the knife. I cut with this one. I used it, but it's too wide. I didn't like that as much. I like the Mac better. It's a little bit less width on the blade. I think it makes me feel more in control of the knife. This one's too large, so it's still. I mean, when you're cutting, it is nicer that you have the larger or wider blade, because as you know, when you cut, you need to guide with your knuckles. So basically, your knuckles will help you guide the knife where you're cutting. And for that purpose, this one with a wider blade is better. The Mac's still wide enough to do it, but the wider the better. So, but still, I like the Mac better because I work with it, and it was so easy to work with it. This one's still an excellent knife, very, very sharp, very nice handling on it, very easy to touch up. I guess for an entry-level chef's knife, I don't think you can beat this. It's an excellent. This one was like $38, $40, something like that. The Mac was $60, a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it. And then my last knife, the Monster. The Monster. This is a carving, slicing knife, and it's a 9-inch. I think it has a 9-inch. And this one is on the churrasco style knife. I didn't need a carving knife in reality, but I wanted a carving knife, so I went with the churrasco carving knife. What does churrasco mean? Churrasco means barbecue over there in Argentina and Brazil. This is their butcher knife, their chef's knife. This is the knife they use when they barbecue. Well, this style knife, not this size, but this style knife. They sell them all different sizes. Basically, what this is used for is carving meat of skewers or big skewer swords. They put the cuts in the skewer sword and cook them over coals and everything. And once the meat is done tender, they go around tables and they start carving off the big pieces of chunks of meat that are stabbed in the skewer. And this is their carving knife. This is what they use to basically, shave off a piece of meat into the plate. So this is a traditional shape barbecue knife from South America. Haven't used it, but I think it's going to be coming handy now in turkey time. And I have some what do you call those things? Like a little fork thing. Well, you know what I'm talking about. I have one there, and then just slice the turkey, cut through it. So I think this one will work nice on briskets and large pieces of meat that you need to slice on quarter or whatever you need to do with it. So this is a novelty knife. Basically, it's not necessary. I think if you have a chef's knife, a paring knife, boning knife, and a serrated knife, you're good to go. That's what I've learned over time. That's what they recommend. But I guess it's like, for me, it's like the more the merrier, right? So you have all your different tools for all different tasks. I'm gonna carve. I'm gonna get this one. Oh, I'm gonna cut something. I'm gonna chop it with this one. Oh, I need to. Okay, I'm gonna get that one. So the more stuff, I guess, the better. The more the merrier. So these are my knives. This is what I use to cook. This is my knife arsenal that I've been putting together over time.